Okay, so I want to come on here and show you guys a quick little issue I noticed here. So right now I got my brakes on, okay? Got the car on with the truck on and off. The brake lights will work. But if we go ahead and we turn on the truck, lights go off. Alright? So that was pretty much the issue I'm having. The lights are on, so there's no taillights on right now. There should be a taillight on. As you can see, the third brake light is engaged right now. So the third brake light is getting signal. But this is the issue that I was having, where I couldn't figure out what was going on with my brakes. So let's take that off. Okay. My heavy ass rock. And I'm going to show you guys what I did to troubleshoot this issue and how I solved this issue. Alright, so what I did is I went to each socket and I put in a bulb. So the brake light is now engaged with the truck off, and as you can see before, it was working. Okay, now this other side, let's take a look. Alright, I don't see a bulb working, but I noticed that if I pulled down, the light would turn on. So you would think, oh, well, maybe it was just a socket issue. You know what I mean? But the brake light was working before when I had the LED plugged in. So why isn't it working now? Well, it's just because one of the prongs in there just needs to be tightened up inside that socket. Could I replace it? Yeah, I could replace it. But right now, I just know that if I just push the prong in with like a pick, it'll probably work. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's turn on the truck. Okay. Truck is now on. The brake is engaged. Okay. Brake light's working with the truck on. This brake light is also working with the truck on. Okay. Let's test out turn signals. Actually, you know what? Let's put the hazards on. Okay? Because with the hazards on, you'll be able to see that signal's working fine. That signal's working fine. You see it lighting up. And if I press down on this, you're still going to have brake light. Nothing's going to fail. Okay? So, we know we got signals. We know we got brake lights. Now, the issue I was having was when we turned this thing on. The brakes were cutting out. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on the lights, and as you can see, it is now still working. Okay, so now it's working correctly. The brakes are now working fine. My signals are still working, and this is working correctly. Okay, so the incandescent bulbs that I have in here running to the socket is getting juice. It's getting power. For giggles, let's see if the reverse light's actually working, because I don't know why it's not turning on. So my brake is engaged. Let's put it in reverse, a little risky, but okay, my backup camera turns on. Truck isn't moving. Let's see if that light is turning on. Oh yeah, it's on. Okay, so reverse light is on there. As you can see, it's bright. My LED, my reverse light is on here as well. Okay, great. So the only thing I couldn't test out was this guy here, this little guy. So to see if it got power, we're going to use the multimeter, and I'm going to show you guys what that should look like and what it looked like in all the other sockets. Okay, and then what I went to was this volt 20 over here, and it should basically start around 0. All right, and then you're going to test each socket. So you're going to look at this socket here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let me see. Yeah, you guys can see it pretty good actually. The brown wires are going to be my negative, and the blue wire is going to be my positive. So as we come into here, you can see it says 12.86 volts, right? So I know that I have power going to this socket. All right, let's check out the other side. Okay, so I don't know if y'all can see that, but let me see. Okay, let me see if I can turn this maybe a little bit for you. Okay, so as we come in here, again, we follow this brown wire here, and the red wire up here, and that should give us, that's 12.96, 95, 96, okay? So we're having voltage going to that socket. So you're like, all right, well, what the hell's going on then? because we got good voltage. So let's put these LED lights back together, because now you guys know that it works. Signals work, every bulb works. The only bulb we couldn't test out was this little guy here, this little mini bulb. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna figure out what's wrong with the taillight now, because then we know that our incandescent bulbs work. Okay guys, so now that we know that all of my brake lights, my signal bulbs were working when I put the incandescents in, we know that these have power. Okay, now I actually went ahead and I tested all of the sockets as well to just make sure that they had power. Alright, but what we didn't test yet was after the lights are getting power to the socket, are they getting power after the socket to the light? So we're trying to see basically which socket is the one that's screwed up, or which light's the one that's screwed up, so we can fix the wiring. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this here, let me see, but we're gonna go ahead and test after each light here. So first we'll start at this brake light that's showing us like 14 volts ish. Let me see what this one will give us. It's tough to get it on there. There you go. 14. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But this has two. It says 2 positive, 2 negative. So the white and the green here is the other side. So we're gonna get on here and let's try and get this one going. If I can twist this up and around. Okay. So I'll put this on there. And this one on there. If I can get these not to cross up. Boom and boom. Yeah, it could be a little tricky getting them to work. There we go. So you see the voltage coming up there. Great. So then with my signal, this should actually go up and down if the signal is working correctly after this socket. But let's see if we're going to get signal. So and mind you, I'm just letting you know that the lights are on right now in the front. So the brake light is working after the socket when the light is on. Okay, it wasn't before, and the light is actually not going to turn on this light for the brake. But if I take this, let me see if y'all can see the numbers flashing. I don't know if you can or not. Alright, let's see. Maybe I messed it up. But if I go onto this prong here, and that there, you should see it jump when the light's flickering. It should jump. There it goes. You see it jumping up there, 10 volts, back down up to 10 or 8, 11 volts. So when the light blinks, it'll get all the way up to that, close to 12 volts, 8 volts, 10 volts, 11 volts. So it's getting up there, right? As the light blinks, it's turning on and off. So that's why the numbers are fluctuating on this turn signal. So let's go ahead and turn that off. So light is on. That means my taillight should be on. So we know that this was working at the socket. I was getting 12 volts. So after the socket, let's see if we're still getting that 12 volts. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna put one on one prong here. Okay, the light is on. And I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but for our purposes, we'll try it out. 11 volts there. So I'm getting 11 volts after the socket. So why is my light not working? Well, at this point, we can conclude that we have faulty LED taillights, because everything after the socket is working. So the board on the inside is not doing the right thing. It's not doing what it's supposed to do.